The holidays are here, and I'm here to talk about why it's important for you to give your kids African American fantasy fiction as a Christmas present. Out of all the gifts you could give a child, um, the most important one is gifts that open up their imagination. And if you have, and when it comes to African American children, the faster you open up their imagination, the better off it'll be for them when when they get older. And it's important to be exposed to African American fantasy fiction at an early age because it opens up your mind to start seeing black people in unique and different ways. And the earlier you start seeing black people in unique and different ways, the more you'll start seeing yourself in unique and different ways. And over the holiday season, the best gift you could ever give a child is fantasy fiction featuring African American characters. Now, I make every effort throughout the year to offer free titles so that kids can have access to African American fantasy fiction throughout the year. During the summer, I do a young adult ebook exclusive series on Smashwords, and Christmas during Christmas time, I offer free fantasy ebooks on Amazon.com through their Kindle Unlimited program. And this year, I'm offering three distinct titles. The first is The Temptation of John Haynes, an action packed African American fantasy romance, paranormal fantasy romance. This one is one of my most critically acclaimed titles. It's one of my most popular fantasy books. It's a full novel and it's a fast read, and I know everyone will enjoy it. The second book I am offering free December 20 Christmas Day and December 26th is Isis Wrath of the Cyber Goddess, the book that I did a Kickstarter campaign for during the summer and features a very beautiful cover by artist Bill Walko of the Hero Business comic strip. This book is a fast paced read with a lot of science fiction and fantasy elements and features a strong black female heroine, Isis, in the lead. It's part of the Isis series. It was the first book of the ISIS series for 2014, and it's a book that really a lot of people like, and I'm offering it for free to get readers starting to read the ISIS series and to start reading African American fantasy fiction and to start seeing black heroines in these type of stories. The third book I'm offering is the most recent book in the ISIS series, ISIS: Power of the Princess. Um, this book just came out in November. I just released it in November. It's the most recent book in the ISIS series. It's a follow up to a previous ISIS series stories, ISIS: The Ultimate Fight, where ISIS participates in a cage match with the Greek goddess Nemesis. This one is another fun one. A lot of action and adventure, a little bit of comedy mixed in, and I believe they're all great books that your kids will enjoy. And I wrote them for kids of all ages. Kids and adults can enjoy them, and they'll all be free on Kindle on Christmas Day and December 26th. Um, and if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can borrow them right now. The main reason why I offer a lot of free ebooks throughout the year is because I really want to get more African Americans reading African American fantasy fiction. Again, I really believe the earlier a child is exposed or to African American fantasy fiction and they start seeing characters that look like them, the more they'll start identifying with those type of characters and start seeing themselves in these type of stories and then start seeing themselves in these type of roles in life. Um, when it comes to fantasy fiction, oftentimes like Frozen or Hunger Games, Harry Potter, Twilight, all of these type of stories, we often see white characters in the lead, and that's really bad for African American kids because they don't see themselves in these kind of roles, especially in the lead role and taking a major role in the story. And that's one of the reasons why I write these type of stories because I want black kids to start seeing themselves in these type of stories and seeing them having themselves having these type of adventures and being in these type of stories and imagining themselves in these type of stories. The other reason why I publish these type of stories is because I want to promote other positive character traits about African Americans, such as black business ownership, black entrepreneurship, group economics, um, black pride, black self empowerment, and black doing for self. These are all themes that are in all of my African American fantasy fiction books, and they're also in my African American fiction books like the Thetas. Um, it's really I really believe that it's important that African Americans see these type of traits, character traits, and these type of themes and stories because you are what you read, and if you keep reading this type of media, it will become a part of you. And the younger you are, you start imbibing these values and these character traits. They will become a part of you, and you will start seeing yourself in a different light. Because I know, growing up in the South Bronx, I was exposed to a lot of positive black media at an early age. I grew up in an age of black superheroes like Cyborg. Jim Rhodes had his term as Iron Man when I was a kid. And I grew up seeing a lot of different black characters in different roles, in lead roles. And it really shaped how I viewed black people. And I grew up with The Cosby Show and other black programs like Family Matters, Sister Sister, Smart Guy. And this really shaped my perception of how African American, how I saw myself as a black man. And I believe if you expose your children to this type of media at an early age, it's going to shape how they see themselves. Because that's one of the reasons why I make every effort to publish these type of books and these kind of stories, because it's very important for kids to see themselves in a positive light, because we really don't get to see that much in today's media, especially if you go to a bookstore today or you go on Amazon today. There's like a deluge of street lit and erotica and other kinds of books, but the African American fantasy section, it's very limited, and a lot of people, they don't promote it too much, and it's not promoted much in the media. But the holiday season is a great time to expose kids to this type of literature. I've made every effort for the last 2 3 years to trying to provide these type of stories to African Americans, for free, because I really want to see more African Americans reading African American fantasy fiction, and science fiction, these type of stories. This is why for the last, again, like the last 3 years, I started in 2011 offering these type of stories on Smashwords for free, and it was a very strong positive response. And every time I offer one of these stories, people really pick it up. It gets a lot of Facebook likes, and people tell their friends about them. And the reason why, and then I do them at Christmas time on the Kindle, and it also gets a positive response. Um, and I also offer them through the year for reasonably low prices. 99 cents for an ebook for an ebook, short ebook. Um, Sometimes $2.99 for a full novel. And I also offer all the books in the ISA series in paperback for a very nice price. And you can also get other fantasy titles like The Temptation of John Haynes. You can get that for on paperback for a reasonable price. You can get all of them. You can buy them in paperback, or you can buy them in ebook for your Kindle or your iPad. Um, you can also borrow them if you have Kindle Unlimited for free. But the whole point of it, the most important thing is making sure that you expose your kids to these type of books at an early age, and make sure you expose them um, quickly. I write all these books to be all ages accessible. I think you can start about 8 to 10 years old with the ISIS series, and you wouldn't have any problems with it. Maybe 11 or 12 for a book like The Temptation of John Haynes. But all the books are great. They're fun reads. They're fast reads, and they get gonna get your kids to start seeing themselves very differently and perceiving the world differently as it relates to African Americans. Because I always try to make sure that I present positive character traits that African Americans need to participate in, such as black pride, black empowerment, group economics, black entrepreneurship, black ownership, and black people working together. All of these things mean a lot to me, and it means a lot to me to get these books out and share them with readers. And again, my mission was to create positive stories about the African experience and to change the perception of how African Americans see themselves. And part of that is diversifying the book market so that we do start seeing ourselves in fantasy roles, science fiction roles, and we just don't see it as a white person's thing. And we don't see things like princesses and stuff as just white women, and we start seeing ourselves in these type of roles, because that's one of the reasons why I do these type of stories, because I really want to see black girls start taking pride in themselves and start liking themselves, and black boys start taking pride in themselves and liking themselves, and seeing that it's possible for you to do things in life, and that it's possible for you to pursue different type of careers, and seeing black people in these type of careers makes you say to yourself, yes, I can do that too. And that's one of the reasons why I write these type of stories. And I'm hoping that you guys pick up the stories for your Kindles. I'm hoping if you want to, I'm hoping that you pick them up for paperback. But it means a lot to me to get these books out here for you again. And that's why I offer so many books free throughout the year. And that's why I'm offering them free on Christmas Day and December 26th on Kindle. That's all I have to say for this video. I'm urging you to go to Amazon.com. Um, Check out my page. There's a lot of great books there. You can buy them. You can borrow them if you have Kindle Unlimited. And I'm hoping that you enjoy them. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'm hoping that you leave a review if you really enjoy the books.